Guys, we did it. Our favorite game has won Game of the Year. How wonderful. So good. From Dr. Disaster. Absurd. Dragon Age The Veilguard just won a Game of the Year award. These idiots are delusional. Who did it? Which publication was it? Was it Kotaku? Was it IGN?
What's up, Space Pirates?
What's up?
This is your Admiral, the effortlessly entertaining Dr. Disaster. And do you guys remember last year when Dragon Age The Veilguard came out, how all the game journalists and their allies out there were acting like they didn't know what we were talking about?
A return to form, they said. 9 out of 10.
When we said that the game looked woke as hell.
There's nothing wrong with me.
It was a 7 out of 10 game with a 2 out of 10 story.
Maybe there's something wrong
Also 3 out of 10 characters.
with the universe.
They called us tourists for noticing that suddenly the game franchise seemed quite immersed in gender identity politics. They had top surgery scars available in Dragon Age The Veilguard's character creator screen because of course they did. Meanwhile, if you wanted to make a female character with the body proportions of anything other than a toothpick, you were shit out of luck. It quickly became evident to anyone with eyeballs and a reasonable...
Yeah, I never even got into it, never played it. I only watched people talk about it, and I didn't hear anything about the character customization other than it was garbage. And it was really weird.
Functioning brain that there was a very specific sort of person that this game was trying to appeal to.
That ain't no woman. It's a man.
The game was
Yeah, they were trying to appeal to those people. Too bad none of them played it.
directed by a self-described queerosexual gendermancer who made sure that the game took
That's one of them queerosexuals. That's what we used to call the gay people back in high school, is queerosexuals.
a complete U-turn with regards to how the tone and story were handled. David Gator, one of the original writers of the franchise, who has turned into a progressive sheep over the years, he said that Dragon Age was always this way, and that anyone who didn't like it was a tourist, and yet somehow the audience for the franchise was decimated. When Dragon Age The Veilguard came out, sales fell off a cliff compared to previous entries, proving
No, that's not what people were saying on the internet. People were saying it was good. So it was good. You're just a hater.
that the Veilguard is at odds with what the vast majority of gamers want.
Am I so out of touch? No, it's the children who are wrong.
Well, this
It's not even the
which
children.
game journalists
It's the like 40-year-old millennials.
and progressive activists tried convincing us was just more of the same. That game was just announced as the Game of the Year for 2025 at the Gaming Awards.
What the fuck? That's a real thing, really? And this is the game that won? Are you serious? There are other gay games that are better than this one. What the hell are you talking about?
The brainlets in game
It got Game of the Year probably because it ticked the most boxes.
journalism and their allies tried convincing us that all of the LGBT stuff, that was all in our imagination. We were looking too deeply into things. Meanwhile, now that the game has failed, the LGBT crowd themselves are finally admitting that this was made for them. It's okay.
Bro, like, no, it's made for them. They're still not playing it. They're still not playing it. I don't know. Like, I know a lot of gay people. And I know a lot of gay people who play video games. They're not playing this, I promise you. They're just playing normal-ass games. I know a gay guy whose favorite game right now is Stellar Blade. Like, come on, dude. Everything's so fucking backwards.
To like Dragon Age The Veilguard, but if you do, there's probably something you ought to know.
I got news for you. That means you're gay.
Are you subscribed to Dr. Disaster? You better fucking do it. I got him linked down there in the description. But don't click off my video yet, damn it. But Dr. Disaster is awesome. You should watch all of his videos. And probably even, like, pay him. Dude, pay him. Give him money. Give him your hard-earned cash so he can buy more ships.
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video,
Yeah.
share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
Do that.
I've begun uploading some content onto Rumble as well.
I'll probably do that
So make sure
soon.
that you follow Dr. Disaster on that site too.
I used to.
Also, give me a follow over on X, where my handle is Dr. Disaster 1. I keep a list on there of games lousy with wokeness pinned to my account at all times for your reference, and of course, Dragon Age The Veilguard is on that list. Big
I don't think that I've followed him on X yet. I'll probably go do that.
time. Now, let me throw this out there. I sincerely do not give a shit if someone is gay or lesbian or
Nope, I do follow him.
anything like that. I have a friend who happens to be a lesbian. She's awesome. I don't mind if someone has those characteristics, but what I don't much
Yeah, like, I don't agree with it, and I'm not gonna be involved in that kind of lifestyle. Like, you know, I'll hang out with a gay couple, but if they're making out in front of me, that's not okay. Same with a straight couple, you know? If they're doing, like, degeneracy in front of me, that ain't gonna fly.
care for is shit like this. The mentality where people like this think they need to exist in some kind of a parallel culture, and more than that, the insistence that we act as though this is somehow equal to the culture at large, or even just valid. The problem with that mindset is perfectly encapsulated by what we saw with Dragon Age The Veilguard. People like this take something that a large chunk of people love, people who aren't invested in this weird parallel culture, but they take something like the Dragon Age franchise, they kill it, hollow it out, and then use the thing as a skin suit in order to
Hang on. I have to just, I gotta bring something up real quick. 441, all right. You know what these people remind me of? You know what they make me think of? They make me think of the nobles in Fable. They look like the nobles in Fable. That's how ridiculous they look. They look retarded.
lure us in, to get us to unwittingly support them. And when we say, hey, I don't like this, this isn't what it used to be, they get angry. They don't understand why we don't like it. They don't understand how we can see through their skin suit and tell that this isn't what it used to be. Now, it used to work, but people have wised up. We are on the lookout for this sort of behavior, which is why sales for the Veilguard were awful. The thing is, if they at least created new...
You know, I don't even really care about sales. I don't care about what other people think about games. I only know what I care about. And if other people are going to have a similar opinion as me, then, you know, I'll be happy to agree. But sales matter not, because a lot of my favorite games didn't get any sales until they caught on in the mainstream, such as Terraria and Stardew Valley. I was playing those games before really anybody knew about them, before anybody really talked about them. So I'm not even gonna get into all of that. Assassin's Creed Shadows, garbage game. Technically hit profitable numbers. Garbage. Never gonna play it. Don't care. 4 out of 10. Get that shit out of here. If everybody else thinks that game's great, alright, cool with me. I think it was garbage.
IP and then told the LGBT stories that they want to tell with that as a vehicle, I would respect it a hell of a lot more. And actually, even more than that, I would respect their work even more if their gay characters weren't automatically flamboyant and strange. If there was just a normal man or woman who happened to be gay in their stories, that would be a lot more interesting and relatable than whatever these people are doing.
And like, I like the design of this character. I like this character right here. This is probably the most normal character out of all of them, though. Or at least normal looking.
As an example of the sort of character I'm talking about, look at the character Robin in Stranger Things. I've recently been re-watching that show because my daughter has never seen it before, and Robin in that show is just a pretty normal kid who happens to like women. Being lesbian is part of her story, but it isn't obnoxiously thrown in your face. But
yeah, I don't mind that. It's fine.
Let's read about how
I haven't watched Stranger Things, so like I got nothing to say about it.
Dragon Age The Veilguard actually got some recognition that for once wasn't pure mockery. This article comes from Game Rant. It says here, Dragon Age The Veilguard recently won the Game of the Year award at the Gaming Awards 2025. Apart from taking
Because it's the gayest. You know, we all knew it though. We all knew it's the gayest. So of course it'd win the gayest game award.
home this major award, Dragon Age The Veilguard also snagged 2 other accolades during the event. Let me just stop and point out that they called this a major award. This is another example of people like this trying desperately to make this parallel version of the culture at large into something bigger than it actually is. This was not a major award, it is simply a pat on the head for BioWare for being such good little propagandists. I'll bet, though, that the developers who were fired because BioWare was gutted after this flop of a game, instead of this award, I will bet that these developers would much rather have their jobs. Anyhow,
Yeah, they'd much rather have their jobs and to be loved by the masses. Like, why would you want to be hated by a whole group of people? Like, come on. A majority group of people also, by the way. Just look at those sales numbers and the player numbers, you know? Like, what were they thinking? What were they thinking?
reading on, BioWare's latest action RPG was released in 2024 after being in development for almost a decade. Dragon Age The Veilguard quickly became one of the most controversial games of the year as part of the fanbase embraced it, a very small part mind you, while others were unhappy with the changes made to the franchise and its lore. Despite generally earning positive critical reviews, Dragon Age The Veilguard underperformed commercially.
Yeah, it got positive reviews from all the wrong people. As soon as we saw that happen, we were like, whoa, guys, all right. What's wrong with this game that everybody's giving this 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10? Because this doesn't happen with even the best games. Because you give those a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. What is this?
Reaching around 1.5 million players during its first quarter and failing to meet EA's expectations by around 50%. For reference, Dragon Age Inquisition, the game's predecessor, actually sold 12 million copies.
Dude, and I remember people were mad about that game. Because it was different and it wasn't as good to some people, especially to people I know that were actually super fans of Dragon Age. That was like all that they played for a long time was just Dragon Age games. Eventually they came around to liking Inquisition, but you know, I think this one's just kind of off the playlist.
So The Veilguard, which was given away for free on PlayStation Plus several months ago, that game isn't coming anywhere near Inquisition's numbers. The article says,
By the way, if a game is doing astronomically well, they don't just make it free on PlayStation Plus like that. That's not a thing that happens. They don't just make it free on Game Pass.
Next though, Dragon Age The Veilguard,
Which, by the way, it was free on PlayStation Plus. Nobody even played the free version.
won big at the Gaming Awards 2025, a competition focused on games with LGBTQ plus themes. But wait a minute, time out. I was reliably informed that Dragon Age The Veilguard wasn't actually woke and wasn't actually made for the LGBT crowd. I was told we were just exaggerating.
No, this is just normal. This is just what they think is normal. All these people are normal. This much diversity, every single diverse box is checked here. You're the crazy ones.
How bad all of that was. It's interesting how this game won an award that apparently they aren't even qualified to win. But anyhow, apart from taking the main award home, Veilguard's protagonist Rook also snagged the Best LGBT Character Award, and actor Erika Ishii, who voiced one version of Rook, won the Best LGBT Voice Actor of the Year award. Dragon Age The Veilguard winning awards in an LGBTQ+ focused competition makes sense, as the game allows gamers to decide Rook's sexual orientation and gender identity, and features non-binary characters such as Tosh. Unfortunately, backlash regarding LGBT themes was part of the reason why some individuals promoted a review bombing campaign against Dragon Age The Veilguard after the game released. Among the negative reviews at the time, many bashed the game's woke dialogue and LGBTQ+ representation. Oh, they just couldn't help themselves, could they? They just can't handle the fact that normal people do not like this shit. Oh no, it can't be that. It has to be a review bombing campaign. That's the only—
Yeah, they can go ahead and keep thinking that. I'm cool with it. They can keep saying it. It's still just gonna keep happening. I don't even understand why they would come out and say stuff like that, like that's gonna change anything. Because it doesn't. Because normal people who are keeping up with everything, who know what they're gonna be spending $70 on, they know what the game is. They've heard things. They know all the stories about it. And if they don't, that's kind of on them, you know, if they don't know. But like, good games don't get review bombed like that. They get bombed with good reviews, I guess, if you want to call that review bombing. When a bunch of people review something at the same time. Sure, why not?
only reason someone would speak ill of this brilliance. They're just trying to review bomb. In truth, though, these dingleberries—
Expedition 33 got review bombed with good reviews. It skewed the market. It's unfair.
simply need to face the facts. This parallel culture repels an awful lot of us. Just because we disagree does not make it a negative review bombing campaign. It makes it the zeitgeist. You absolute buffoons. But I'm gonna leave it there. Drop some mockery of the gaming awards and Dragon Age The Veilguard into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties.
Dude, we're so back. We are so back. These people, they show what they are and who they are and what they're all about every single time. We're always right. We just have to do our own thing, man. Don't listen to them. If they're telling you that you're a bigot, you're a racist, you're a sexist, homophobe, transphobe, if you're not going to buy $70 worth of nonsense, you don't need them, man. You don't need them. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell for all the notifications.